Next part about the AJAX that you need to know is about jQuery. Okay, so what is jQuery? jQuery is one of many available libraries that provide functions for manipulating the web page. Manipulating means whenever you have something that you want to change, you want to edit, or you want to modify, okay, so you can use the jQuery. And this is fairly good performance. And it helps to keep your JavaScript code clean. Okay, so what does it mean by clean? If you look at the previous example, okay, let me get back to the previous example. Whenever you do the name, okay, and price, if you look at this one, we use DOM. Do you still remember what is DOM? We call DOM as the document object model. So the document object model means I'm going to call the name based on the document. The document means the HTML. And then I'm going to get the ID. So if I take the ID from this HTML document, yeah, it's good. Yeah. But whenever your data is a lot, if you have a lot of data, of course, you will do document get element by ID, document get element by ID, document get element by ID, and so on. So if you look at also the table, like this one, okay. So you also need to have a lot of, yeah, like this one, but this is still easy. Okay, this is still easy. However, if you prepare like this one, document get element by ID, document dot get element by ID. So if there are a lot of ID, it will be a tedious job. So that's why jQuery uh, is available to help you to keep your JavaScript code clean and indirectly help to protect the security. So those are the benefits using such a library, but the downside is that you have an extra dependency and need to learn a new library. So whenever you have a new library, of course, you need to learn and you need to know what is the function of that library. The jQuery is a cross-platform JavaScript library designed to simplify the client side of HTML. So whenever you use the JavaScript, yeah, the jQuery is available for you. It is a kind of new programming style that use selector engine. So we call it the selector engine. Select means I want to get or I want to select something. It is to enable DOM. DOM is the one that we learned before, the data document object model. Let's say I want to know what is the element that I want to get. So we can use the selector engine from the jQuery. I want to traverse. Okay, so if you still remember in the algorithm class, we have the traversal, okay, in the tree or in the binary tree. We have the in-order traversal. We have the pre-order traversal. We have post-order traversal. So those kind of things also can happen in the web. Okay. So which item that you want to traverse at the first time. And yeah, some manipulation you can do also with the selector engine. So let's see the example. Oh, maybe, yeah, this is the features of the jQuery. you can do the DOM manipulation. Okay, the DOM means the document object model that we used before from the JavaScript. So this is the central to what the jQuery does. It makes it incredibly easy to select, preference, and modify HTML elements. Okay, so we will take a look later with the examples. And it also apply for the event handling. So event handling means if you click, if you move your mouse, and etc. So the jQuery simplifies how you attach and manage event listeners. So if you learn more about the JavaScript later, you need to understand these event listeners. These event listeners, like what you know until now, is on click. On click is one of the event listener. So when you click, then you will do something on the HTML elements. And it can make your web page more interactive. And if you want to include like effects and animations, actually, yeah, you can use the jQuery. But yeah, I'm not that good on the effects and animations, so you can try by yourself. So it provides a built-in methods to create smooth visual effects and animations without writing a lot of complex JavaScript. And of course, based on the AJAX, jQuery streamlines the process of making asynchronous requests to the server, allowing you to update parts of your web page without a full reload. So if you have your HTML like div, and then you have the partial div like this one, then your jQuery can update only this section. So you don't need to update all the HTML file. So you have the HTML, but you want to update only this section, then you can use the AJAX. And cross-browser compatibility. Yeah, if you look at any kind of programming languages, so they only works in some kind of operating system. But the jQuery now it is very huge advantage. jQuery can be in many different web browsers. Okay. So if you use Microsoft Edge, or if you use Chrome, if you use Safari, okay, and there are so many other kind of web browser, so it works well on many web browser. In using the jQuery, there are several ways. The first way is to get the files from jQuery.com. So if you go to the site, so this is the jQuery, and then you need to download this file, and then you can insert this file into your environment. That's the first way. And after you download it, you can put into a folder, and then you can call the jQuery.js. However, we can use the second way. So we can use the CDN. The CDN is Content Delivery Network. For example, yeah, you can get the jQuery using the link. So the link, yeah, find the latest of the JavaScript, so you can use it in your environment. The one that I mentioned to you before, it was the jQuery. If you look at the index.html, this is the latest one. So if you go to this site, yeah, this is the jQuery provided by the jQuery communities. So you can use this one. This is in the JavaScript style. Yeah, for now, let's use the current one. This is the 3.7. But if you download from the jQuery, you can see that they provide the new version, which is the version 4. If you go to jQuery, yeah, they have the version 4, or this is the latest one. Yeah, I don't think that the latest one will be much different, but just use the 3.7 for our environment will be enough. So if you do with downloading the files, means yeah, you can download a copy of the jQuery JS file and store it in your hard drive, and then do the reference in your HTML. And then whenever you access the jQuery, you need to use $sign. So the $sign, yeah, is one of the text that you need to refer to the jQuery. If you download this one, it means you need to put the downloaded files in the same directory as the pages where you wish to use it. If you do not want to download and if you do not want to download and if you do not want to host the jQuery for yourself, so you can include it from the CDN. So this is the content delivery network. Both Google and Microsoft, they host the jQuery. So the one that I show you here, yeah, this is the host from the Google. I will use this one. It is easy because you don't need to download. You don't need to put into your environment. So let's just use this jQuery. Now, using the jQuery, you need to understand some of the syntax. The syntax, yeah, is tailor-made for selecting the HTML elements. So the first is for the selector, we call it selector. And the other is to performing some action. So we need to first select. The first selection means I want to use the dollar, and then I will select something. After I do the selection, then I will do action. So the $sign is to define and access the jQuery. So and every time you access the jQuery, you need to use the $sign. A selector or query to find the HTML element. So here you need to find what is the HTML element that you want to connect. And the action means something that you want to perform on the element. So for example, if I have this one, dollar and parenthesis. So it means I need to express some argument inside the parenthesis. Let's say I want to do something on the div. Then I need to do the dollar div. And then you need to put the quotation mark. It means I want to access the div. I want to do something on the particular ID. So if you have the ID name, then I want to access the jQuery using the jQuery. I want to access the ID name like this. So this dot hide. So it means I want to hide the current element. For example, I want to hide the name. So I will select the ID name and then I will do hide. Then I will hide this name from the HTML. Or let's say I'm going to hide the P, the paragraph element. Then I will just put the jQuery and then call the P or the paragraph and then do, for example, hide. This is the action. I have dot test. So dot means it will be related with the class. So in the HTML, you have the class. Let's say you are using the Bootstrap. In the Bootstrap, there are many classes. So whenever you want to access to the class, you use dot. So if the class name is test, then I'm going to access to the class test and then perform the action. For example, the action is hide. Then you will hide the class test. If you want to access the ID, okay, so the ID, yeah, you can access with the shop. Shop means the ID. So you have the dollar and then do with the shop. The ID name is test. Then you will do something. For example, hide. Then this is the action. So there are so many things on the jQuery. Of course, yeah, I cannot teach you all the things. If you want to know more, you can get into this one. Yeah, so there are so many things like bind, blur. You can change. You can do click. You can do context menu, double click, die, error, and so on. Okay, so there are so many event that you can use. Mouse lift, mouse move, mouse out, mouse over, mouse up. So every uh, event can be handled with the jQuery. Okay. So if you need those kind of things, yeah, please check on this website. And also there are some kind of guideline from the W3 schools. Yeah, if you want to know more, like this one, mouse event, you can do the click, double click. When the mouse is entering something, when the mouse leaves from the page, when the key press, when you press something, when the key down or key up, or if it is about form, whether you submit or you change or you focus on something or you blur something. With the documents, so if you load the documents or you want to resize, you want to scroll the mouse or you want to unload the documents and etc. And so you can see here, if I call the P, so it means I want to call the paragraph and then I click, then it means on the paragraph, when I do the click, so there will be some kind of function. So the function, yeah, you can do something here. So that's the meaning by this kind of event. So there are so many kind of event. Yeah, you can check like double click and then mouse enter, mouse leave, yeah, mouse down, and so on. Okay, so let's do with the CRUD with AJAX and with the jQuery. Okay, so in this case, I would like to perform the CRUD with AJAX, and we need to utilize the jQuery. So now let's do again with the index.html and modify the path to the JavaScript in HTML, and then let's create a new JavaScript using the AJAX and the jQuery. Okay, for the path, here is the path that we have. Previously, we used the DOM script, but now let's just use the script. Now let's change to script, script.js. Now let's create the skeleton again for the script.js. You can see something a little bit different with the previous one. The variable, they are the same. The edit mode is false and the current ID is null. But now when you do the initialization is a little bit different. When you want to load the snacks, I'm using the jQuery. So this is the $sign. And then I want to access the document. When the document is ready, let's run the function. So the function means I want to load the snack. Now let's take a look on the load snacks. So I will like to put on this read. Okay. So let's see the difference between the DOM. In the DOM scripts, whenever you get the API, okay, when you get the API, it means that you will use the synchronous with the DOM. So you are using the asynchronous and you are using the await in order to get the snack information. Okay. So if you go to the website, so here you have one site. Okay. So you have one data here. So you can access this data using the API. API snacks. So using this API snacks, you can see that now you have one data. ID is 1. The price is 1,500 and the name is Chocopie. So this is the API. So you can share this API to other person. So it means if you have your data like this one, you can use this data and then you can get, you can modify and etc. So let me get back. Let's say I have another new data. So I have uh, I don't know what is the good snack. Crackers. Okay. And the price is 1,000, for example. Ah, I have not finished. Okay, let me just get back to the DOM script at the moment. So let me have the cracker 1,000. Okay. So I have the crackers, choco pie, and if I want to access the API.snack, then I have two data. So the data, the first data is the ID 1, price and choco pie. The ID 2 is price 1,000 and the name is cracker. Now if I want to add another data, let's say the other snack is juice. Okay, the price is 801, for example, $800. Okay, then after I add this one, I need to go to the API, and then yeah, I can see the data has been added into this API. If you want to do with this pretty print, then you will get the ID 1, ID 2, and ID 3 in this form. Okay. Okay, so let's get back to the script. In the script here, I want to access the API snacks. So the simplest way is to use the jQuery and then get. So get means I want to get the link. So this is the link. This is the link that I want to use to get the data. And then I would like to have a new function And this new function will be based on the data. Okay. And we will do for the list. What is list in this case? Yeah, I'm using the jQuery using this dollar sign. And then this list is also from the jQuery. What is this one? Shop. Shop means ID. So if you go to the index, if you can see here, the T-body ID list. Okay, the ID equals this. So I want to get the list, which is the ID, and then I want to put it into the variable $list. So this is the ID. And then I want to empty it. So empty means I want to make this variable at the first time empty. And then the same with the previous one, I would like to put the data. So the data will be a loop for each, and let's put it into a variable s in this case. And I want to append. So append means this is an array. So here is one array. One array means the first array is the first row. So the same with the previous one, we still need to have a row, and this row will be available in the web. Again, I'm going to get the name. I'm going to get the price. And then I'm going to, again, check the prepare ID. We have the ID, we have the name, we have the price. And then I want to delete based on the ID. Now, let's go to the second. After we load the stack, okay, so this is the explanation. After we load the stack, let's do the edit preparation. So the edit preparation is more simple. In the previous one, when we use the DOM, when you do the edit preparation, you need to call the document, get element by ID. 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 But using the jQuery, you can just call with the dollar sign. The dollar sign. What is the ID? I want to get the ID name. The ID is name. And then I want to get the value. Oh, in this case, I want to put a value. So this name will be in the name ID. This price will be the value of this ID. And then this one, I have the dollar sign. I have the ID form title. The form title, I want to change the text into edit snack. And the submit button, I want to change the text into update. So that's the meaning of this code. Okay, so this is the explanation. And now let's do the save snack. Now in the save snack, we need to get the data. First, we need to get the data from the name and the price. So the name is using the, again, jQuery, using the dollar sign. and I want to get the ID. What is the ID? The ID is name. And I want to get the value. So it means I am getting the value of the name and I want to put it into the variable name. Parse float. Then it means I'm going to parse the string. The value will be a string. And then this is from the ID price. And after I got the value, I'm going to parse it into the float. And the value will be in the variable price. So we have to check whether the name, so we have this is a constant, okay, and the constant will be a dictionary. What is dictionary? We have key and value. So the key is the name. So the name will have a value of this one, and the price will have value of this one. So I want to check if the snack data dot name is available or not. So the exclamatory sign, it means not. If the name is not available, or if the snack data dot price is NaN. What is NaN? Is not a number. So this is also from Python 5. So if it is not a number, then return alert invalid input. Again, we need to check the edit mode. So after we have this one before, the edit mode is true and the ID is ID. Now the edit mode, if it is true, then we will do with this API. If it is false, we will check for all API. Okay. So now let's check. If I go to this API snacks ID1, okay, you can see now the methods not allowed because we are not allowed to access this one. It is not editable. This one is still available. Okay. If you look at this one, why it is not available? Because in the main.py, okay, in the main.py, you use put. What is put? We have get, we have push. Get, it is to get the value with some additional query information. Post means you will do something without additional information query. But if you are using put, so you are going to update the value. Okay. So last time we already learned about the CRUD. Okay. So if you are going to update the value means you do not have any access to this one. So you cannot access the snack ID. You cannot access number one. You cannot access number two, and so on. So you can get only access the using diskette. Using diskette, you can get all the data. But what about this one? You cannot access this post because this is no information. And yeah, you have the put. Put means the modification. Put means edit. That's why we cannot access from this link. So this one is available when you are in the AJAX. Then if you are using the edit mode is true, you can use put. So if the condition is put, then you can access this one. If the condition is not put, you cannot access this link. So post, it is to access the data. Now, we are going to use AJAX. So this AJAX is available in the jQuery. Okay. So in the jQuery, we use AJAX. And the AJAX, you can refer to some parameters. For example, I want to define the parameter as the URL. So the URL means this is the link that you want to access. And then the type is the method that you want to access, whether it is put or post. The current type, this is using JSON. And then the data that you want to save, it is in the type of JSON stringify. So this is from the snack data. So the snack data is in the form of dictionary. It is in the form of dictionary. That's why when we stringify, then it will change into the format of JSON. And then we need to define the success function. If the AJAX success, it means if you finish with the editing, then the function will be like this one. It means I'm going to reset into the original form. The edit mode becomes false. The current edit ID becomes null. And then name of the value will be empty. The price will be empty. The form title, the ID form title will be add snack, and the submit button will be add. And then at the end, we will do the load snacks. Load snacks means the function that we have. Okay, and then the last one. So if we do with this one, actually I give you also one explanation here. So when we use this question mark, this is if. This is an if function, and this is the true, and this is false. It is equivalent with this method. So let the method, if the edit mode, so if the edit mode is true, it means the method equals to put. So the method equals to put. Else the method equals to post. So this statement in one line is the same with this statement. Okay. So this is the explanation for the create and update and the delete. Okay. So for the delete part, again we are using the AJAX. First we call the jQuery, and then we use .ajax to connect with the asynchronous JavaScript XML, and then we call what is the ID that we want to delete. The type of method is deletion. If it is success, then let's load. So you can see here, if the type delete means we access to the main.py, which is delete. If we use the update, or if you use put, then we access to the put function. If we use post, okay, so if we use post, so this is, yeah, if you load the function, then you can see we use get function. So we use the get function. So every function in the JavaScript will follow the API function in your main.py. It means this JavaScript directly connect to the server, directly connect to the main.py. Okay, in the summary, oh, okay, this is the end. Then, so AJAX is one of the methods to perform operation on the client side. So you can perform the CRUD. Okay, so you can perform the create, read, update, delete in the client side. And we learn the client side operation using DOM and AJAX. So DOM, it is based on the document object model. So you need to access for every document with the ID. If you use the DOM, of course, it is tedious job. But when you use the AJAX, you can use the jQuery, and it is easier to connect with the server. So using the DOM or DOM, we rely more on the HTML, and using the AJAX, we rely more on the jQuery. So if you want to continue with the jQuery, I guess it is good, and there are many kind of perform. There are many kind of operations that you can use with the jQuery. Okay, I think that's all for today. Oh, today we finish very fast. 좋아요.